ROCC, Mothercat, and GIG Company in 2012 by the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Following cries and complaints by commuters about the hardship they encounter on this road on a daily basis. Also notes that 30 portions of the road has failed completely, especially around Ekpoma and Agbede axis. And this development has caused sufferings to many Nigerians, including total economic dislocation, who rely on this route for their socio-economic activity, despite the over 200 billion naira that had been budgeted. I am not sure how much was released since the award of the contract for the reconstruction of this road. Aware that the federal government in January 2023, President Buhari, as part of the infrastructural development and refurbishment investment tax credit scheme phase, further approved the sum of 75 billion to hasten the reconstruction of the road, specifically extending from Obajana Junction to Kogi State to Benin City in Edo State. Disturbed that the pace of work on the road has actually stopped completely, not slowed down. Please kindly amend. The uncertain portion of the road has failed completely. This has become a nightmare for motorists, especially because of heavy-duty trucks that spend days on the same spot without movement, thereby preventing other vehicles from navigating their way through the road. This situation now sadly compels other vehicles to opt for longer alternative routes through Ondo State, totally out of their normal direction, in order to avoid the many kilometers of gridlocks and sometimes inability to maneuver through the failed portion. Mr. President, when I did my reception last week, this is an addition, I wanted to invite you, but I know you will be able to find your way through to my village because we are completely now cut off between Benin and Auchi. Also disturbed that transporters now hike their fares due to increased hours of time it takes for them to arrive at a journey they would otherwise spend less time to arrive at, thereby passing the buck of the passengers and travelers who now pays astronomically high fares to their destination. This situation is disheartening considering the current high cost of living that Nigerians are already grappling with. Worried that the deplorable state of the road has caused damage to properties and led to the death of numerous innocent commuters through accidents, including the one that Mr. President had to issue a condolence message, people who were wasted on that road, I believe about 2 weeks ago. Also worried that the road passes through the sites of two major economic zones, two major cement factories in Okbela, in Edo State, which attracts heavy-duty vehicular movement 24 hours of the day throughout the year, making it very strategic route for the country's socio-economic development. Accordingly, our prayers that the Senate urge Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to grant approval for the augmentation of costs on the road through the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, pending the constitution of the Federal Executive Council for ratification. And 2, urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to, as a matter of urgency, commence repairs on the failed portion of the road, drawing from the 75 billion naira approved by the immediate past president. Provide adequate funding to complete the reconstruction of the dualization of the road. Please effect amendment. And come up with a plan to settle all legal issues bordering on the dualization of the road with contractors, and also review the terms and conditions of the contract to meet current realities of inflation. Mr. President, I want to thank you for the privilege of allowing me to move this motion. I so move, sir.
Seconder, Senator.
To be recognized to make my little bit of contribution to it. I want to thank distinguished Senator Oshiomhole for raising this motion, because it is it's happening at the right time. That particular road we are talking about is also the gateway to Delta State. It's a gateway to the northern part of Nigeria, going through Delta, through Aushi, down to Lokoja. So I think that it is something this House has to look at dispassionately and urge the various agencies to take up remedial action on that road. I also want to say something regarding Edo State in general, as it concerns Delta State also. Most of the roads connecting Delta State, moving through Edo State, are completely cut off, especially the area between Delta, Saple Road, Ogara, to Warri is also cut off. As we discuss this, I want to include that one in this motion. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out Symphony on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.